How's it going, everyone? Yes, don't fret. I was surprised to see how many people in my comment section were asking about this PlayStation Store holiday sale and whether or not it was actually going to be coming. It is live right now, and we'll get into it in just a little bit and get through the rundown, but just for reference for next year, if you guys are worried about a sale running, just think about it this way. The holiday sale is kicking off while this PlayStation Indies and end of the year sale is ending. So the end of the year deals and PlayStation Indies sale, this is the last day you guys can check out games from those respective sales. But if you checked it from the beginning, it noted that those sales ended on December 21st. That should immediately tell you that Sony's not dumb enough to not run a PlayStation Store during and after Christmas when everybody's getting PlayStation Store credit. Everybody's getting PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 consoles, ideally, as Christmas gifts, holiday gifts, etc., etc. So they're gonna be running a sale like the holiday sale during that time period. Honestly, if anything, I find it more surprising that this PlayStation Plus offer is ending on December the 23rd, but hey, what are you gonna do? Nonetheless, this holiday sale is gargantuan, to say the least. North of 3,200 deals? What are we doing here? 3,200 deals? Maybe it would have been better if we divvied it up into a couple different sales. Nonetheless, we have it all live right now, some pretty notable stuff. Right off the top, Elden Ring is in fact on sale. I know a lot of people have been waiting to see at least some sort of discount on that. 30% off for $42 is about what I expected. Look, this is a game that Bandai Namco knows that people are gonna buy regardless. Let's give them a little bit of a discount for the holidays, but it's not gonna get to 50% off for a long time. Get this. Dark Souls 3 for a long time would be 75% off for $14.99, and then I guess Bandai Namco has recently realized that why are we making people pay $15 for this game? We can make them pay more! And now, usually when it goes on sale, it'll be $30, which, you know, more power to them. People love the Souls games. People want to play the Souls games, but damn, you gotta pay a pretty penny to get each one of them. I mean, by our standards, you know, we're cheap, so them's the breaks with Elden Ring. But Elden Ring's tremendous. There's, you know, I know there's some controversy with it winning Game of the Year. I wouldn't take all that stuff too seriously. What I can say about Elden Ring is I think it's objectively a really good game, even as somebody that's not big on the Souls titles. Nonetheless, that's available. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Cross-Gen Edition, that's still on sale for $59.49. I mean, it's MW2. You guys, like, if you want to play COD, you can play COD. Gotham Knights is 50% off for $35, so less than 2 months since the release of the game, and it's down to $35. You know, it being 50% off and getting hit with $35 is a little bit jarring because, you know, we're still getting acclimated to the $70 era, but I'd say $35 for Gotham Knights is a pretty decent deal. I would probably also say wait for it to get a little bit cheaper. I think if you can get it for like $20, $25, that's a really good pickup for Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights has things to like. I know a lot of people were really into the narrative of the game. I didn't feel one way strongly about it. You know, I'm not a big DC guy, so bear that in mind. I played the entirety of the game as Nightwing, and I had fun with it. The performance was a train wreck at times, but there's a lot of replayability, and there's a lot of content to the game as well. You can't go into this game comparing it to the Arkham titles. The Arkham titles are on a league of their own, and Gotham Knights is not at that level. But is it a good open world superhero game? Yeah, it's a good open world superhero game, albeit you'll want to get it for the right price. $35 might be the right price for you. I personally would probably say wait for it to get to 2025. Horizon Forbidden West, $30 and $39.89. Obviously, get the PS4 version. That'll get you a free upgrade to the PS5 version. Remember that there's also a PlayStation premium free trial, so if you do want to check it out with that. I loved Horizon Forbidden West in a lot of aspects. I thought the gameplay was great. The world is absolutely gorgeous. I think narratively leaves a lot to be desired. It's more so that I didn't like the direction of where Horizon is going as an IP. I just think there's a lot of potential for them to do other things with Horizon, and I think they're ultimately gonna tackle that. I mean, they got like 8 billion games in development, so eventually, I think what I want to see get covered out of the world of Horizon is gonna get covered. It's just as far as Aloy's story and where, you know, her narrative is taking, we'll see. We'll see how ultimately, you know, Burning Shores turns out. We'll see how the next title turns out. If you've already waited this long, at some point, I am sure they're gonna do a Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition that includes, you know, the base game, Burning Shore, and that'll probably not come out until the fall of next year, so that's still a ways away, but hey, if you're down to wait, you know, that will end up paying dividends most likely. GTA 5, $15 on PS4, $19.99 on PS5. It's GTA 5. I imagine most of you guys own it. Oh, yo, was not expecting this to actually happen. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, CDPR, you guys a little cheeky. Who bought the game for $10? A show of hands who bought the game for $10, because now you're making out like a bandit. Ultimately, will this game go back down to $10? Oh, I hope so, and I imagine it will, but oh boy, 40% off for $24 for the base game, $30 for the complete edition. We're 3xing the cost of the game from where it was pre-upgrade. You know what? I can respect it. I'm not even gonna hate on it. I had said that this was entirely a possibility. Some developers won't do this, where they won't up their price after a free upgrade drops, but Witcher 3's free upgrade, I think, is on a completely different level than a lot of other free upgrades. That's why I thought, hey, there is the chance that this could happen. Did I think it was going to be this significant of a price hike from the OG $9.99 price point? Yeah, probably not, but hopefully you guys picked it up, and if so, you made out like a bandit. If not, I mean, Witcher 3 is still a tremendous game. This upgrade is tremendous, and I would recommend it for $30 even, but it's just a little jarring seeing that $30 price tag when, you know, this game has been prominently featured in our under $10 videos pretty regularly. That it's kind of a hard sell for me, but again, hopefully the majority of you guys did end up picking up when I've been drumming it home. I've been kind of like beating that drum for the last year since this upgrade has been announced, and I always kind of mentioned that this could be a possibility. Didn't actually think it would happen, but hey, you know, still check it out. It's a great game, but yeah, your backlog's probably already crazy. That do you want to pay 3x on what Witcher 3 was, you know, like a month or two ago? Probably not. Gran Turismo 7's at $30. Gran Turismo 7 on PS5 is at $39.89. I mean, I like GT7. This just seems a little pricey to me. I mean, this is the same price as Horizon, but Horizon gets you the free upgrade on PS4 to PS5, so it's a little bit more expensive when you look at it that way. Yeah, I would say wait for a deeper discount, but it's an okay deal if you're looking for a racing sim. Last of Us Part 1, $49.69, way too expensive. Just wait for this to get down to like $30 to $40. I love Last of Us 1, and I think it's a tremendous game, but yeah, I think most of you guys have played the game like 84 times, so not a big deal if you don't pick up this right away. But if you want to replay Last of Us 1 a lot, this remake is really, really good. The original game was really, really good, but this brings it up to a more modern audience, and it's still a pretty good time. Last of Us Part 2, $9.99. I mean, yeah, it's Last of Us 2. Cyberpunk 2077 is $25. Go watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners if you haven't yet. I've actually been on a little bit of an anime kick recently, and my boys have put me on Jujutsu Kaisen. I started watching that yesterday, and I'm kind of digging that. You know, I gotta allocate time for anime and whatnot, and I can't be watching all the time just because gaming has to take priority, but I've heard really good things about Jujutsu Kaisen, so I thought I would check that out. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, that is something that kind of reintroduced Cyberpunk. I feel like to a lot of people within the gaming sphere, I think a lot of people had written it off as this kind of train wreck disappointment of a game, and then Cyberpunk Edge Runners came out, and I think a lot of good things were happening with Cyberpunk as a whole, where there was a lot more, you know, reignited interest for the game, and rightfully so. It's much better than what it initially was, and I think now in 2022 you aren't going into the game with the grandiose expectations that a lot of people had back in 2020, probably rightfully so. I mean, CDPR kind of sold you a bag of lies when it came to that, to the game's initial release, but I can still, you know, assess this game for what it is now, and it's actually pretty darn good, and for $25 I think it's a pretty good buy. Also has a premium trial. Ghostwire Tokyo, 60% off for $24. Great deal on Ghostwire Tokyo, man. Like, this is probably the right price for the game. $60 was a little bit pricey, but this game has a lot to like. The atmosphere is tremendous. The setting is great. The soundtrack and the musical direction, the direction of the audio, I would say in general, that's really well done. Narratively starts off incredibly compelling, kind of falls off a cliff towards the end and has some pacing issues, but for $24, I think it's a pretty good buy. Good bit of content there as well. Let's try to go through this a little bit faster since I'm still on page 3 of 137. Red Dead Redemption 2, 1979. Wish that had an upgrade, but it's a tremendous game. Arthur Morgan is one of the GOAT main characters. Sonic Frontiers, I've been talking that game up quite a bit, but $42 is pricey, and it might be coming from the standpoint that I am a Sonic fan, and I'm gonna give a Sonic game every pass in the world as long as it's a pretty good game. And Sonic Frontiers, I would say, is a pretty good game. I'll overlook a lot of the issues out of Sonic Frontiers, but what I played, I really enjoyed. So I would say, you know, check it out if you're interested. This is a game that goes considerably cheaper when you do pick it up physically. It's been as low as like $35, $30 on some platforms, so just bear that in mind as well. WWE 2K22, that's getting added to Plus, at least the PS4 version. Deathloop is $19.79, that's on Plus Extra. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is $29.99. That notes Plus Premium, but that's just a game trial. Yeah, you get a 1 hour game trial. What are we doing here? 1 hour game trial? That's some nonsense. But Skywalker Saga is awesome, so I would give that a shout. Especially if you're into the Lego games. It Takes Two, $16, great co-op title. I mean, hey, if you want to play a game with somebody over the holiday break, that's a pretty darn good one. Dying Light 2 Stay Human, $30. At this point, I would say either wait for it to get cheaper, or if you're really trying to wait for all the updates to roll out and then get the complete edition, but that's probably not going to happen for quite a while. Sekiro, another one of those From Software titles. This Sekiro obviously published by Activision, so it's a little different, but it's still a FromSoft title, 50% off for $29.99. It came out all the way back in early 2019. To give you guys an idea, early 2019 is like when the Resident Evil 2 remake came out, and that game readily goes for $9.99, and Sekiro is still at $30. Oh, Dark Souls 3, how about that? 50% off for $30. I mean, more power to you, FromSoft, Bandai Namco, whoever's making these decisions. But man, $30 for Dark Souls 3, a game that is 6.5 years old. So like, yo, screw the Resident Evil 2 comparison. I believe when Dark Souls 3 came out, like Uncharted 4 was coming out, and yeah, to be fair, they kind of hiked up Uncharted 4's price with the re-release, but yeah, still, it was like, the OG version's like $5 these days, you know? But yeah, Dark Souls 3 is great. It's just, I find it humorous that it's $30. Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim Anniversary Edition, $20 on that. The special edition, of course, is on PS Plus Extra. I love Skyrim. You know, it's a game that I'm always gonna go to bat for, and I love the setting, love this music. You know, it's just an easy game for me to enjoy. Hades is $16.74. Hades 2 is in development, so not a bad time to check that one out. Resident Evil Village, $19.99. Ideally, you do want to pick up the Gold Edition, which is at $39.99. That's a little pricey to me, but, you know, Resident Evil Village is great. It was one of my favorite games of 2021. So yeah, if you do want to check out the base game, go for it. It's just you've waited this long, you might as well wait for the Gold Edition to see a deeper discount. That's probably the route I would go. Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, 20% off for $40. That is what it is. Rust Console Edition, $35. So pricey for Rust, man, especially on consoles. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, $7.49. Great buy. I mean, I feel like Jedi Fallen Order is gonna be a game like Witcher 3 that in the coming months, people are going to be absolutely sick of me talking about it and how much I like it. But the fact is, when it's getting this cheap, and it's the base game on sale, because if the base game is seeing that Steam price, nah, it's not, unfortunately. It's still at $40. The base game on Steam is like $4.79, which is just like disgustingly stupid. Like, that's just an insane price. But nonetheless, that's still a good deal for the deluxe edition, and I'd definitely give it a look. Saints Row on PS4 and PS5 is 50% off for $29.99. Look, I didn't hate that game as much as like everybody else. I didn't think it was the worst game in the world. Like, you know, some other titles do exist in this world, but Saints Row is definitely mad corny. But Saints Row's always been super corny. It's not worth $30. If you want to play that game, you wait for it to be $5 or less. I know I typically don't say that about a lot of games, especially new releases, for waiting them to be $5 or less, but that's the case with Saints Row. Like, if you want to play $5 or less, it's a lower budget. It feels like a lower budget title. I don't know what the budget was attached to Saints Row. I mean, it's a pretty recognizable IP, to an extent at least, but yeah, wait for it to be sub $5. UFC 4 Deluxe Edition, $14 on that. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, $30, still too pricey for my liking on Wonderlands. A Way Out for $6 is really, really good. That's a sleeper deal right there. No Man's Sky, 50% off for $30. This just ain't getting cheaper than $30. So do bear that in mind. The PlayStation 5 version runs really, really well, so yeah, if you have a PS5, more reason to pick that up. So a lot of these pages are getting padded out by like a lot of in-game transactions. I'm on page 7 of this sale, and like half the page is literally like Black Desert in-game purchases. But Borderlands 3, $9 for that is okay. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, man, that's getting cheaper and cheaper. That's $19.99, and at that price point, that's actually pretty good. Like Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy for $20. Uncharted 4 is a game that I recently played through again on PC, and I've been talking about this quite a bit when I talk about Uncharted 4. I kind of forgot how great that game was. Like, am I crazy in saying that Uncharted 4 isn't remembered as one of the top PlayStation exclusives of this generation? That title is usually given to, like, God of War, maybe Spider-Man, maybe Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, even Horizon Zero Dawn. I feel like Uncharted 4 does not get talked about that much. And bear in mind, Uncharted 4 was an earlier PS4 exclusive. It came out in 2016, so maybe that's part of the reason. And I know narratively a lot of people have issues with it, but when you assess it from a gameplay standpoint, pacing, platforming, puzzle, I think those elements are rather strong. And I just had a great time with the game, so I don't know. If you guys haven't played Uncharted 4, definitely go and check it out. Obviously, play the Nathan Drake collection first. Like, it just makes a lot of sense to play the Uncharted games sequentially, especially because if you just jump into Uncharted 4, like, I totally forgot, like, the opening section of the game, or part of the opening section of the game, it's just a lot of fan service, and you'll, like, completely miss it, and you won't even understand what the hell is going on. So play Uncharted 1, 2, 3. They're great games as well. Uncharted 1 shows its age, but 2 and 3 are tremendous, so yeah, go play those before you play Uncharted 4, but go back and play Uncharted 4. If you guys haven't played it in a while, or whatever the reason may be, maybe you never checked it out, $19.99 for this collection is actually quite good. Cuphead's $14, Hitman Trilogy Premium Add-ons Bundle is $21, while Hitman 3 Deluxe is $28. The JoJo game is on sale. Diablo 2 Resurrected, $13.19 on that. That seems really good to me. Like, I'm not a big Diablo guy these days, a little bit too much of an investment, but yeah, that seems like a pretty good deal. Tales of Arise at $24. You guys know how I feel about that game. That was one of, you know, among my top 3 favorite games of 2021. It was like Tales of Arise, Ratchet, and probably Resident Evil. For me and the games I like. But Tales of Arise was great. Great cast of characters. Maybe the main character is a little bit less compelling than some of the best Tales of main characters. Like, when you look at the best Tales of main characters, to me it's like Luke, it's Yuri, and then it's Velvet from Berseria. I feel like Arise doesn't have that strong of a main character duo, but, you know, it's still a really, really good game, and the characters are still likable. I just think the 3, like, nobody's touching Luke, in my opinion, so, go remake Tales of Abyss, Bandai. I think people would like that. But $24 for that is quite good. Dark Souls Remastered, $19.99. Okay, so this, once again, 50% off discount. That seems to be the cap for these Souls-like titles, but, yeah, $20 for that. Riders Republic is at $18. Not a bad deal on that. FF7 Remake Intergrade, that is available on Plus Extra. It's $39.89. Like, I get it, it's gonna hold up in price, but man, I feel like that should be cheaper. The Remake Intergrade version came out in June of 2021, and then Remake originally came out in March of 2020. Yeah, I get it. It's one of those games, much like the Souls titles, that is just gonna hold up in value just because of the level of game it is, but you know, it would be nice to see it a little bit cheaper. It is available on Plus Extra, like I said. Mafia Definitive Edition, $14 on that. Like, it's Mafia 1. It's a shorter game, but it's fantastic. Like, from a narrative standpoint, they don't update the gameplay in this game that much, so just bear that in mind. Like, it still feels dated from a gameplay standpoint, but like, narratively, voice acting wise, soundtrack wise, Mafia 1 is a damn good game, so check that out if you're interested. Mortal Kombat XL is on sale, Injustice 2 for $3, Star Ocean The Divine Force, $42. The issue with Star Ocean The Divine Force is that it's a good game. I just think the competition for JRPGs right now, like the top level JRPGs, and that's the type of games that you should be dropping a premium $42 on. I wouldn't put Star Ocean at that level. By all means, it's a good game, and if you're a fan of Japanese RPGs, you will end up enjoying it. You will like it. I thought the combat system was very, very enjoyable. Again, $42 is a little pricey, but this game just came out back in October, so honestly, that's probably just me being cheap as hell. But yeah, if you're a fan of JRPGs, again, you'll like it. I just would put it comfortably in like the second tier of JRPGs and not top tier. Hell, what I will say is it's a goddamn improvement from Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness, so like, I'll take that all day long, brother. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, $16 for that, 60% off. Need for Speed Heat for $6. That was a little bit cheaper not too long ago, but that's still a good deal for Need for Speed Heat. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. The Cross-Gen Bundle is $20. That was a Plus title, but that's a really good deal. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is 20% off. Hey guys, there's so many friggin' deals. Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown Top Gun Maverick Edition, $15. Gungrave Gore, $33.49. Scarlet Nexus Ultimate Edition is $25. I mean, I usually don't talk up the Bandai Namco Ultimate Editions and Collector's Editions and whatnot, because they're usually memes. This does have some stuff, you know, some in-game items, Season Pass, all that stuff. The base game is unfortunately not on sale. I love Scarlet Nexus. Like, as far as Bandai Namco JRPGs go, last year they dropped Tales of Arise, and I feel like that got the majority of the attention. But Scarlet Nexus was a very, very good game as well. Good combat system. I think what a lot of people had issues with was the fact that it didn't have a lot of cutscenes. A lot of the game's narrative was told through these visual novel style scenes, and that might not be for everyone. I thought it was fine. Like, I played the hell out of Danganronpa, so it's like I was fine with it, but some people are not going to be as fine with it. There are cutscenes for like the big moments in the game, but again, a lot of the story is told through those visual novel style scenes. So just bear that in mind, but overall the game is great. Excellent soundtrack as well. Persona 5 Royal on PS5, $42 on that. I mean, you know, me making a big deal out of the Witcher 3 price hike, like, Persona 5 has had an egregious price hike as well, and I think, you know, sometimes we let it slide with games because they're at such a high quality level, P5R being one of those games, Witcher 3 being one of those games. I just, like, memed on it today just because I found it hilarious. But yeah, this is another game that had, like, just the egregious price bump. Mafia Trilogy 1979, Resident Evil 3 is $9.99, but the Raccoon City Edition, $15 on that. That's $7.50 a pop for Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. That's, like, pretty damn good. And Resident Evil 2 is tremendous. Resident Evil 3, generally speaking, a lot of people compare it to the high quality level of Resident Evil 2, and yes, it's nowhere near as good as Resident Evil 2. It's still a perfectly fine game, and for $7.50, I think it's quite good. Ollie Ollie World is $9.89. That's actually a sleeper good deal there. That's a relatively recent release, if I am remembering correctly. Yeah, February of this year, so it's not that old. Has a great art style, so yeah, $9.89 for that I think is quite good, actually. A lot of For Honor DLC. Tactics Ogre Reborn, The Swift, 15% off. Yeah, it's great, but not a steep discount. Castle Crashers Remastered, $7.49. Hey, if you want a holiday game, Castle Crashers is a pretty darn good one. Like, if you just want to, like, chill with your friends, family, and have a fun cooperative game, man, I would probably put Castle Crashers up there with a lot of other co-op titles, especially because, like, a game like A Way Out or It Takes Two, those are two-player games. Castle Crashers is a four-player game that I think a lot of people can end up enjoying. DBZ Kakarot, $15. That is getting a PS5 upgrade. I want to say that Bandai's not going to do some nonsense and up the price of DBZ Kakarot. Like, I really don't feel like they're gonna do that, but you know, we've seen it in the past. We're seeing it in this video as well. So, you know, I like DBZ Kakarot. It had some issues for sure. Some very questionable moments being cut out from the story. Like, I literally pointed out things as I was playing the game, and I was just, like, flabbergasted that they took it out. It's very, like, minor things, but it's minor things that went a long way in, like, developing characters. Specifically, like, one scene with Gohan early in the game that was cut out. I was just like, how could you cut that out? Nonetheless, it do be like that sometimes. Attack on Titan 2 down to $30. Will this show ever end? I mean, we're up to final season, part 3. So, yeah, but nonetheless, AOT from a video game standpoint is pretty interesting, so you can check that out. Valkyrie Elysium, 50% off for $30. I think that's a really good deal given that steep of a discount. Game definitely has its issues. I think, unfortunately, very, very lackluster main character. I get that was kind of what they were going for, making her a little bit more stoic, but I just feel like it didn't work. Combat is good. Narratively, it's just a mess in my opinion, but, you know, that's a steep discount for the game, and if you've been eyeing it for a while and you're into action RPGs, you'll probably end up liking it. It's just, yeah, it definitely has issues. What else we got? A lot of DLC, like I said. I probably am going to wrap up the video here. That's 15 pages, like I said, of 137. But those 137 pages also include, like, nonsensical DLC and stuff nobody's gonna buy. Let's just change it to full game. So when you eliminate all the DLC and whatnot and you're just looking at the full games, you're looking at 80 pages. So we'll go through those 80 pages. We'll break it all down. You guys know how this stuff works. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Decided to make this video a little bit longer just because I know so many of you guys have been excited for this sale. But yeah, that'll do it for me. 15 pages in the books. We'll do the rest. We'll do all our typical stuff, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Sound off down below, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.